3 countries, 2 months, 1 epic adventure. Packing for long trips doesn't have to be stressful. Stick with me as I review what's in my bag, how I prep for my upcoming trip, and expert travel hacks to keep your journey stress-free and unforgettable. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go over what I'm packing for my 2 months trip to Southeast Asia. I'm going to Vietnam, the Philippines, and Thailand, and the climates there will be a mixture of cold and warm weather. And I'm also going to share my packing tips and travel tips that I learned over the year that will make this trip very stress-free for you. So yes, first thing you want to do is check the weather and pack accordingly to the weather. Okay, so the method I like to use for long trips is the 9-7-5-3-1 method. So 9 is going to be 9 casual clothing, and it's going to break down to 4 tops, 3 bottoms, and 2 layers. So it could be like a light jacket or a kimono for the beach or something like that. Something that's layered. So for 7 dressy items, you will have 3 dresses, 2 tops, and 2 bottoms. And that will make up the dressy category. For 5 items is the 5 comfortable items. You will bring 2 sets of loungewear. It could be like sweats or whatever you feel comfortable just lounging around, but also do a quick errand if you need to. Like for those days that you don't really want to leave the hotel. And there are days like that when I'm traveling. I like to go hiking and do outdoors activities, so I like to have 2 outfits of activewear with me. And then you also want to pack 1 set of sleepwear, so it could be a nightgown or a set of silk pajamas, whatever it is, you're gonna need something to sleep in, or just a t-shirt if you want to go that way too. So then for the 3, it's going to be 3 shoes. So you have your day shoes that you're walking around with, then your dressy shoes for those dressier occasions, and then a flip-flop. I always travel with a flip-flop because it's just nice to have flip-flop when you're walking around the hotel, and especially if I'm going to the beach. So then now we have left is 1. For that, I would do either 1 jacket, 1 belt, 1 bag, 1 hat, whatever 1 accessory that you want to bring. So this is where you kind of have fun with it. And even though it's 1, I cheat. Sometimes I would bring like 1 belt, 1 hat, 1 bag. So all of this will go into this category. These are my Holy Grail makeup I've been using for years. So for foundation, I have 2 types of foundation. So these are the 2 that I'm going to take with me. For bronzer, I have the NARS Laguna. And this is actually my powder from Chatta that I put in here just to save space. Eyeshadow, I have Natasha Denona. I've just been wearing this for years now, and I just love how small it is. Concealer, sometimes I just use concealer without foundation. This is the one that I like to use in the shade medium sand. Eye brightener, I like to use this Maybelline brightener concealer. For eye primer, I like e.l.f. I think this is being discontinued, but I really like this. My lip liner of choice is the NYX Peekaboo Neutral, and I pair it with this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Athens. I love these 2 combination. A must-have lip balm. These are the 2 eyeshadows that I like to use. This is the first base, and this is the second, and it just makes my lash looks really, really good. For eyebrows, I use the Anastasia in dark brown. For blush, I really like this gel blush. I've been using this for 3 years now, and I haven't even hit half yet, so I really like this. For my makeup primer, I like to use this SHISEIDO. I always bring a lash curler with me, blotter, a tweezer, sharpener for my lip pencil. So this is a must-have for me. I always carry this in my makeup bag. So this is all gonna fit in this bag here. And I got this bag from TJ Maxx. After traveling for so many years, I found that this type of bag worked really well for me because they have this brush separator. So all of my brushes would be here, along with skin blotter, tweezer, and you have more room over here too if you need more brush. This is not the time where you want to experiment with new makeup. Stick with what you know and bring what you know. So all of this will fit in this bag. And it just keeps everything organized. These are my Toiletries, my favorite moisturizer. This is eye cream, sunscreen. And this is my toner. So the big toner is actually this bottle right here, but I just transport this little one so I could travel with. And I have my contact solution with my contact case. This is a new discovery. It's really great if you're into mouthwash. This right here, you just drop 1 drop in here and you fill this cup up. So this is equivalent of 1 liter. So this is a new favorite of mine. This is my cream from my dermatologist for acne. This is my hair oil, a razor. This is my lip balm at night. This is my hair tie that I like to use. This is the makeup wipe that I like to bring also. For my cleanser and oil cleanser, I like to use these bags. This bag is really, really great. The only thing that about this is it's so expensive. 3 of this is like 45 bucks. You could buy a lot of these from AliExpress for like 5 bucks. And I've never had any issue with it leaking when I'm traveling with it. So I like to fill my favorite product in here when I travel, so I always have it with me and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Same with this cleanser. This is the cleanser I like to use. I'm also packing a toothbrush and toothpaste. This would be the only time that you would want to bring a new toothbrush and toothpaste. So these are the 2 that I really enjoy at the moment. And also you could buy these little toothpaste. It's really, really great for just like a few days to a week. If you go to the dentist, they pass this out with a toothbrush, so just take that. These are the hair products that I like to use. I only travel with this if I'm going long term, and these will leak. So what I like to do is just put them in a Ziploc bag. And I usually pack this with the check-in bag. So what I like to do also is use this method. So I take a little bit of this saran wrap and just put it over the top and close it, and this will make it completely leak proof. This is another thing that I like to pack on a long trip. This is also a new find for me. It's a hair straightener and it's really, really small and you charge it. Not as good as my GHD or Chi, but for this trip it would do because it's just so small. Gum is a must when you travel. Ladies, if you're traveling for a long time, make sure you pack your favorite feminine product because you might get a Tom visit while you're on your trip. You can find all of this in Asia. It just might not be the same brand that you're used to. So just make sure you pack this. This is how I store all of my jewelry. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and I just put this in my carry-on and have it with me at all times. So first I want to lay out all the clothes. So I want to start with the heavy things first. That would just make the suitcase a bit more stable. So all of the pants, denim, and you want to kind of lay it out to the size of the suitcase to utilize all of the space in here. So I like this method better than the packing cubes because I find that this allows me to pack more. All the bulky, you want to just move it in the center. Alternate. Then I go with the dress because that sometimes takes a lot of room too. So just lay it as flat as possible. This way you kind of avoid wrinkles also if you take the time to just lay it really, really flat. It's nice to do kind of light item in between because when you lay a heavy item, it will push it all down. This is the method I like to use. Yes, it is a hassle when you get to the place and you have to dig for your clothes, but I'm okay with that. Once you have all of that, you want to start laying your tops. You want all of the wires in the middle because you don't want it hanging out of the suitcase. So that is another thing I learned. Everything should just be pushed down. So this is when I want to stuff all of my socks and undies kind of around these corners. I don't want a separate bag for it because that would take up space. That's pretty much it. So all of my clothes and undies is on this side. Make sure you have shoes bags. And I'm gonna wear the bulkiest pair of shoes on the plane. So that's why I'm not packing my sneaker in here. Put it in so it doesn't get damaged. And last but not least, I like to put an air tag on all of my bags just in case it goes missing. So just keep it in there. And this is how you could pack 2 months worth of clothes in a carry-on if you want to. Originally, I filmed everything with the suitcase because I thought that I was gonna bring it, but I forgot that sometime we might be checking it in. So I know they don't take very good care of our luggage overseas or actually anywhere in the world. So I'd rather just bring this one because it's a little bit cheaper. It's not as expensive as this suitcase. I do highly recommend it. I travel with this suitcase when I'm traveling domestically because the wheels and everything like that is just top notch. I haven't found a suitcase that is better than this one. And my backpack is really heavy, so I need a reliable suitcase with really good wheels. Bismonos is not bad. I actually prefer them over Away. If you want like a mid-range price that is really good quality, I would recommend this one. So make sure you have a suitcase with a lock because then you can lock it when you're at your hotel. And since I'm going with my husband, each of us will carry one bag. I would carry the carry-on and he would take care of the check-in bag. So I would split half of my clothes and half of my husband's clothes and pack it in here. And then the other half would be in the check-in. And these are the clothes that I'm okay with it being lost. I'm not okay with it being lost, but I have to be if it gets lost. So anything that I don't necessarily value would go in the check-in. If I were to go by myself, I would not have both bags. I would probably just stick with the carry-on and just figure what to do with gifts later. Another tip is to pack a big duffel bag in there too if you want extra space. Since both of us are going, we might both be buying things, so I like to have an extra bag in there in case I need it. I always pack check-in bag also half empty. Another thing is pack your things like a month or 2 weeks before your trip and start using things out of your suitcase. And I mean like toiletries, everything that you kind of need on a daily basis. Packing for an international trip the day before the trip is not a good idea because you're always gonna forget to pack something. Another tip is never pack any new clothes. It could be clothes, shoes, camera gear, anything that's new that you haven't tested out before, leave it all at home. I know as female, I like to shop before a new event, especially for a trip. I like to buy new clothes, new shoes, new everything, and I always end up regretting it because I haven't tested out the clothes. So make sure if you're packing clothes, it's clothes that you try on before at least for a whole day to see how it feels, because once you're going on a tour, you're gonna be out all day and you won't have access to your clothes or your suitcase to change. Another tip is copy all of your important documents and leave it in your backpack, something that you're gonna carry with you. Those items would be your passport, your visa, your driver license, anything that could potentially get stolen or lost and you won't be able to get it right away. I just make a copy of that, especially your visa and your passport, because some hotel would want a copy of the passport. Never give your passport to any hotel staff because now they just take a picture of it, so you don't have to hand over your passport. I would not hand over my passport to anyone overseas. 2 things that you need to pack are wipes and tissue. You will thank me later because yes, you could buy it overseas, but it's just nice to have everything. You don't have to make a trip somewhere. Another thing is if you're going in the summer, I would pack a bug spray. Since we're going to a lot of beach area and river areas, there will be a lot of mosquitoes and the spray over there is not as good as the spray in the US, so just make sure you bring bug spray over there. And then another thing is sunscreen. If you're gonna be outside a lot, the most important thing you could buy for yourself is an air tag to tag all of your suitcase. You definitely want an air tag inside your checked luggage. I even put an air tag on my everyday bag, carry on too. I just put it everywhere, even my backpack, just in case it gets stolen. So I just buy like a 4-pack and just put it everywhere. Another thing is to make sure you put your information, your email and your phone number on your check-in luggage, your carry-on, every item that you're carrying with you, because if it is lost, then there is a way for other people to get in touch with you. So always put your information on all of your things. Another thing is a weight scale. A weight scale is so important because in Southeast Asia and Europe, they weigh your bag when you get on the plane. So you have to pay for extra weight for almost every airline, I think. I know Vietnam Airline, you could have a free check-in bag, but if you're carrying it on, they're gonna weight it. So make sure you buy a little scale. It's like under $10 on Amazon, and I highly recommend to just bring one because this will save you a lot of money on luggage weight. Another thing is that I don't like to pack neck pillows and blankets and all of the comfort things on a flight because I'm only going to use it like maybe 4 times and then I have to carry it with me for 2 months. So for me, it's not worth it to buy all of that for comfort of like 10 hours and then having to carry it around. But for you, if you need those things, then I highly recommend you buy it to make your trip a little bit more comfortable. If you're going to Vietnam and if you're a US citizen, then you definitely need a visa, and it's a really easy process to do it online, or you can hire an agent to do it for you. But it's so easy that you spend like 10 minutes to do it online. Another thing is vaccination. If you're going to Southeast Asia for the first time, and if you're eating their food over there, especially street food or even restaurant food, your body will not be used to the food over there. And I'm not saying that it's dirty, it's just that fertilization that they use over there is different than over here. So I would go to your doctor and just tell them that you're going to all of these different countries, and then they will recommend medication for you. One thing you might want to ask for is a diarrhea medicine, because this will probably save you on your trip. Yes, there are pharmacies in Vietnam that you can go to, but again, you have to make a trip of it. The pharmacies there are really, really good if you need to, but I just recommend going to your doctor and get all the medication you need before your trip, because that would just save you headaches and stress. Another thing that I like to carry is NyQuil, DAYQuil, Mucinex, and Sudafed. I might get a cold during my flight, so instead of having downtime to recover, I'm just gonna start taking that as soon as I feel unwell. This is where I keep all my medication. And again, you definitely want to go to your doctor to get some prescription. Like I know I'm gonna go on a boat and I get seasick, so I'm just make sure I have the seasick patch for that, and all of the medication I would need for my 2 months. So it's always good to get like a 3-month supplies. Another thing that I like to pack is a small first aid kit. In this little bag, I have bandage, olive wipes, and Neosporin just for cuts, all of that. Also in there, I like to include this little pill pouch. Then I like to label everything so I don't get the medicine mixed up. I could take this whole bag when I'm traveling on my day tour to anywhere, and if I get a headache or whatever it is, I have all of the things that I need with me. Another thing is the currency exchange. I recommend landing during the daytime. We're unfortunately going to land around 11 p.m., but I have a car service that will pick me up from the airport to take me to the hotel. The only thing is that I don't know if I would be able to exchange currency at the airport that late. So I'm not sure how to pay the taxi driver. Maybe I could just pay him with credit card. If you're in this type of situation, I recommend going to AAA to get some currency for whatever country you're going. There's a minimum of $250. It could be like 100 for Vietnam, 100 for the Philippines, and $50 for Thailand. But whatever currency it is, they want you to spend at least $250. And then there's also a $10 delivery fee. The only reason why I don't like using AAA, because if you exchange $250 to Vietnam dong, they will give you the equivalent of 3.9 million. So in Vietnam, if you were to exchange that in Vietnam, $250, you would get close to about 6.2 million. Exchange rate is not that great, but if you're desperate and just want that safety net, then maybe that's a good option to do it. Or just go directly to your bank and see how much they exchange it for. Yes, there are a lot of places that accept credit cards, but cash is probably going to be your best friend for smaller cities and market and street food, all of that. So you want to bring some cash. That way it saves you a trip to the ATM. And there's a limit of how much you can get out per day. So depending on your bank, the fees will be different. I just recommend bringing some cash with you. I believe each person can bring under around 8,000 for cash, I think. Maybe under 10,000. I don't know. Anything over 10,000, I think you have to declare. But, you don't really need that much for Southeast Asia. But always check out the current rate on the internet. I made a free printable packing list in the description below. Just click on it and it has this whole video summarized of all the essentials that you need on your next long trip. Hopefully this list will be helpful to you. Have a safe trip and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching.
Hi, welcome back to
Until
my
next
channel.
time.
Today, oops.
Okay.